had been taught to worship the only true God, but they were captured and taken to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, was pleased with them and chose them for special training. They were given the names Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar decided to make a golden statue. It was very big and tall, 90 feet high and 9 feet wide, almost as tall as a 9-story building. When the people were gathered, one of the king's men shouted,
"It is a command that when you hear the music, you must bow down and worship the statue. Anyone who refuses will be thrown into a flaming furnace."
Some of the Babylonians who didn't like the 3 young men went to the king. Your Majesty, you commanded everyone to bow down and worship the gold statue when the music played. You said anyone who did not bow down would be thrown into a flaming furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to worship your statue because they did not bow to the statue. He said to the 3 young men,
"I'm going to give you one more chance. If you bow down and worship the statue, everything will be all right."
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego told him that they wouldn't worship the statue. They said,
"The God we worship can save us from your fiery furnace. But even if he doesn't, we still won't worship your gold statue."
The king was so angry, he ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter. Soldiers tied them up and threw them into the burning furnace. The fire was so hot it killed the soldiers. Suddenly, Nebuchadnezzar jumped up and shouted,
"Weren't only 3 men tied up and thrown into the furnace? I see 4 men walking around in the fire, and the 4th looks like a god."
Nebuchadnezzar went closer to the flaming furnace and said,
"You servants of the Most High God, come out at once."
They came out, and the king's high officials all crowded around them. The young men weren't burned, their hair wasn't scorched, and their clothes didn't even smell like smoke. Nebuchadnezzar said,
"Praise their God for sending an angel to rescue them. They chose to die rather than to worship any god except their own. And I won't allow people of any nation or race to say anything against their God."
Then the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to even higher positions than they had before.